Hi guys, you're welcome back to another interesting tutorial on how to achieve this beautiful pleated sleeve with a pointy shape. Yeah, it has this pointy shape at the down part. Now guys, this is my first time of trying out this sleeve. That is why I just draft, cut and sew it for me to know the final look of this before posting it. It's a requested tutorial from one of us here. Now guys, you can see the final look of my own and I hope you are going to try this out. Please share this video so that it's going to get to other people. If you're interested, just keep watching. I have my pattern paper. I've gone ahead to fold it up. It's on fold. I went ahead to rule my baseline, which is the upper part. From the upper part, I'm just going to go ahead and measure down the length of the sleeve I'm working with. Oh yeah, all right. Now I'm working with the length 12 inches. Like if you watch that sleeve, it's only that sleeve is just 9 inches, including that pointy edge at the down part makes it to be maybe about 12 inches. That is why I use 12 inches. Now on this upper part, I'm going to be marking my armhole circumference divide by 2. You know we divide our armhole by 2. If it is 16, you divide by 2, mark 8. Now I'm just going to divide my armhole circumference by 2, which is 9. I'll mark 9 inches there. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark 2.5 inches allowance. Now after getting it, I'm just going to go ahead and get the midpoint. Mark the midpoint. Then from the side parts, I am going to come down with 4 inches for my cap height. You know, the way you get your cap height, go ahead and mark it. Now from that midpoint, I'm just going to come down by 2 inches. Your cap height, to get cap height is just bust divide by 12 plus 1 inch. Okay, so from the place I came down, the midpoint, you know, I came down with 2 inches. So I'm just going to be using my marker with free hand, connecting it to me to the 4 inches I came down on the side part. You know the way you draft out your normal sleeve. Just go ahead and draft it out. I'm just explaining the way I got my own, the simplest way I got my own. Okay, now after drawing your sleeve, go ahead and add 2.5 inches allowance. Now the length I have on that upper part is the same length I have on the down part. You know we're supposed to add our round sleeve measurement on the down part, which I did not do. I just went ahead and get the same length that is on the upper part, mark it on the down part. I went ahead and cut it like this. Okay, like I said before, this is my first time of trying out this sleeve. So if you see anywhere I just made a mistake, please, you are free to correct me. Okay, now the next thing I went ahead to do, the paper, the sleeve, you know, I folded it up, it's still on fold. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark down 3 inches starting from this upper part and rule out like so. This 3 inches is going to just be for the upper part. You know, the upper edge has this pop up shape. Now from the side part, I begin to mark 2 inches. I'll mark 2 inches, 2 inches, then to the down part like so. After marking the 2 inches, I'm going to go ahead and rule it out. So we are doing what is called slash and spread method. This sleeve is just slash and spread method. Now we are just about to slash it, but before you slash, you are going to mark it like this. After marking out the 2 inches, I went ahead to notch the paper. Now I am going to be like, whatever I draw on that side, I'm just going to draw it on this side. I'll label my number 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5. I have 5 pieces. Now the next thing to do is to slash it out. So guys, if you know any other way to achieve this beautiful sleeve, please go ahead and explain it for me. I just wanted to learn more because I love this sleeve. Now after that, this is how we are going to be spreading it. The next step is to spread. I am using my bridal satin, just a leftover bridal satin, to do this. I'm not making use of this sleeve, it's just for a tutorial sake. Now I begin to spread. You can see I have spread the number 1, I'll give a gap of 2 inches and spread the number 2. I'll be measuring it. Whatever I have on the midpoint, I will also measure on the two side parts to know if I have that 2 inches. You can see what I'm doing there. I'll measure on the two side parts, you see, yeah, to know if I have that 2 inches gap. After spreading it, this is the method of spreading. We are done with the slashing. Now I am done spreading it. You can see it here. Now, after arranging very well, please use your pin to pin it down. Use your pin to pin it down. If you have not added any allowance, if you just mark your normal draw your normal sleeve without adding any 2.5 inches to it, this is the time for you to add your allowance. But because we have added 2.5 inches, why cutting out our sleeve? No need of adding allowance. Now beneath the down part, I went ahead and marked 4 inches. Beneath the number 5, I just went ahead and marked down 4 inches there. This is for the pointy sleeve on the down part, the pointy shape. Now I'm just going to connect it to meet to the place where I lay the pepper of number 5 at the side part, like so. You can see what I'm just marking out. I am just making this tutorial, I'm just explaining this step by step so that you will not get confused. Okay, this is just a self-taught. I just try my possible best to know if I can be able to recreate this sleeve. Now I went ahead to connect it to this other side part, but after connecting this sleeve, I didn't like the pointy shape. It's not giving me. I want something that is very, very pointy, because the one we are recreating is very, very pointy. Okay, now I am still just connecting the down part. Remember, beneath the 5 inches, I came down with 4 inches and mark. So that 2 inches, I give a gap. You can see the way I'm just using my chalk to mark it. After marking it, I'm going to still use my scissors and notch it, so that I am going to know where the line of my pleating is going to start and where it's going to end. So if you know the how many inches of your pleat, if you want 2.5 inches of pleating, you go ahead and mark 2.5. If you want 3 inches, if you want it to be very, very bold, go ahead and mark 3 inches if you have enough fabric. Okay, now you can go ahead and add allowance on this upper part if you want to, if you have excess fabric, guys. But because I am not making use of this, and the allowance I have added on the side part is okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. I'll first of all start cutting from the upper part, like so. I'm just only going to give add just 0.5 inches on the upper part, like this. But because you are going to be joining it on the body of your gown, go ahead and add half an inch on the upper part. Okay, so that place I use my chalk to mark, I am notching all over that gap of 2 inches I have. If you love the way my own pleat is, you can mark 2 inches, but I advise you to use 2.5 or 2 inches or 3 inches. Okay, now I went ahead to trim a little bit. You see there is a little allowance on the side part. I went ahead to trim it out. I'll also go ahead and trim the other side, but before I do that, I went ahead to fold it back. I wanted to redraw that pointy shape that is on the down part. I want to redraw it. Okay, now I'm just going to arrange it very well. You see, no need of adding any other allowance on the side part, because the 2.5 inches I added is enough. Now I want to redraw the pointy shape. I'm still making use of that 4 inches, but when I am drawing it, like you see, the total length I have now is about 25 inches, guys. About 25 inches, though I later trim it to 24 inches. Yeah, now I went ahead to connect. I started redrawing it again. So that is the reason why the length is up to 25 inches. But when I turn it up with the lining, it's going to come back to 24 inches. That is how I trim it. I turn it up with the lining. Now after getting what I want, I'm just trimming the upper parts a little bit for it to correspond on that upper part. Now the next thing for me to do is to cut the down part like so. So I went ahead again to notch the side part. Like that notching is very very important on this. So if you have not notched before, you can go ahead and notch right now on your fabric. Okay, now after cutting this, I will open it up for us to see how it looks like, because I'm going to be using this to cut the lining. So I'll be using the same bridal satin as the lining, which I'm just managing the remaining satin. I'll be joining it up for my lining. Now I'll be making use of a light gum stay. Guys, that is where this thing come, the thickness come. You can use a thick gum stay if you like, and if you watch the way my old is looking, I just added light gum stay. But if you want it to be very thick, if you don't have a thick gum stay or hard gum stay, go ahead and double this light gum stay up. So now, because we do not have lights for the moment, I just went ahead to stitch it on the two side parts. So this is what is looking, this is the lining. Oh, this is just the lining. Now I've gone ahead to lay the main fabric on top of the lining, placing it right side facing the right side. I'm just going to go ahead and stitch the down part, then and also stitch the side part. That side part is just optional because we are still going to trim it out when the time comes. Now after turning it up, the most important place is to turn the down part up. Now on this upper part, I went ahead to stitch it and run a gather stitch on this upper part. I'll still come back to that. Now to pleat it from this upper part, I went ahead to mark down 5 inches. Please, this 5 inches I came down with is very very down. Like if you want to mark your own, please use 4 inches. By the time you join on yours on the body of your gown, it's going to come to 3 inches. After marking down 5 inches, I rule it across. Beneath that 5 inches on this side part, I am going to be making a calculation on the mark, like how many inches I'm going to be pleating. So I'll be using that same 2 inches. You see the way I'm just marking 2 inches. I will also mark it on the other side. So whatever I did on this side part, I will also do the same thing on the other side part. Remember, on this upper part, after stitching the upper part, I went ahead to run a gather stitch. I will still come back to that. That is why I say this sleeve is not easy. I don't know if anyone is doing their own, maybe it's going to be very very easy to the person, but like what I just did here is not easy for me at all. It's very very stressful for me. Now after that, I went ahead and start to pleat one side part. So I will get the down part like this and pleat it and lay it on ch- uh one of the 2 inches line that I just mark with my chalk. Then I will get the other one. You know the way we pleat. I'll lay it on this other one. Now guys, if you're pleating, please make sure you pleat upwards, like upwards, not downwards. You see that I started from the down part and pleating it upwards. And again, you can run a gather stitch on these two side parts and gather your own. Instead of pleating, you can run gather and gather your own if you're making for yourself. But if you're making for your clients, you just go ahead and do what the person asks you to do, what the picture that the person wants you to recreate. Okay, that is why I'm using pleating. So after pleating, I stopped on that place that I mark down 5 inches. I stop on the side part. Then I'm just going to go ahead and start arranging the pleats on this other side part. So I'm just arranging the pleats so that they are going to be the same. And please, the length of the pleating you have on this side part is going to be the same length of the pleat you have on the other side. It's very, very important. If the length of this side is just 3 inches, make sure the length of the other side is also 3 inches. So I'm just arranging using my pin to hold it down. So the reason why I mark down 5 inches, or you can mark 4 inches, is because of that puff shape that is on the upper part. The puff shape, should I call it a pointy shape that is on the upper part, but that thing, it does not look like a, it's not that really pointy. It just a, it looks like a puff. You know the sleeve, like a puff sleeve. Okay, like a puff sleeve. That is why I said that you should use hard gum stay. But if you don't have hard gum stay, go ahead and use light gum stay and double it. Okay, now I wanted to draw that gather stitch. Now I went ahead to mark out on the midpoint of the upper part. I marked 2 inches, sorry, 4 inches on the two side parts. Now I'm just going to go ahead and loosen this a little bit. After losing it, I went ahead to gather it. I want to get 4 inches gather on this upper part. That is why I mark on this, starting from the midpoint. I mark 4 inches on this side and 4 inches on this side, making 8 inches. Now I'm just going to go ahead and gather it. Remember, the round sleeve circumference to this upper part is still very, very big, because that pleated area, that length pleated area, is still going to go to your round sleeve. That is why I'm gathering this, and I'm also going to pleat this upper part. Like this place I'm just gathering, I just wanted to get that standing effect that is on the upper part. Yes, that is the right word to use. So you can see that that standing shape is looking now, is giving, the standing shape is giving. After gathering, this is what I have. The shape of that upper part is not giving. Now you can go ahead and pleat. That is why I said you should not come down with 5 inches. That 5 inches is too much. Come down with 4 inches so that you don't have a much gap on that upper part. Now I went ahead to, after gathering, you can see that side, I went ahead to pleat it again. So the space that I didn't pleat is just up to 3 inches on this upper part. I pleat the two side parts. Now remaining just 3 inches that I did not pleated. After gathering, I pleated. Hope you are following all these steps that I'm just taking. Now the next thing to do is to, if I leave this sleeve like this, guys, it's not giving me what I want, because this place I'm just holding with my hand is still going to come to the armhole area. So it's not giving me what I wanted. Now I went ahead to measure the length of the pleated area, the two side parts, to know if they are equal. Like I said before, make sure that they are equal. Now they are equal. Now to make that pleated area to come to the armhole area, and it will also give it that curved shape, what I did is to on this side part, one part of the side part, I just hold the upper pleat like so. You see what I'm doing, and fold it front, like I push it to the front. You see what I just did, like as if I pleated it, then I pin it up. You just see what I just did. So I'll repeat it on this side too. I'll push this side to the front and use my pin to secure it. So guys, like I forgot something. After pleating this, I went ahead to run a stitch to secure it. Oh, now after pushing it to the front, I went ahead to trim out this excess that you are looking at there, the excess fabric. Please, before you do this, after pleating, go to your sewing machine and run a stitch on top of that pleat. Okay, then if you gather, go to your sewing machine and run a stitch to secure that gather and also pleat before you start doing this one that we did. Now after trimming it out, I went ahead to measure. This is our round sleeve area. From that pleated area to the other side of the pleated area. If that pleat is still very long, still go ahead and push it to the front. If it is longer than your armhole circumference, go ahead and push it to the front. The more you push it to the front, the more pop up the upper part is going to look, and the more curve is going to be giving you. Hope you understand. Now, after achieving what I wanted, I think I'll be leaving it like this. So this is the inside of this sleeve. Very, very beautiful. You can see the inside, very, very beautiful. Go ahead and attach it to your armhole or sleeve, armhole clothes, or whatever that you're attaching it. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach it on my mannequin. So this is just it, and this is just the final look of this tutorial. Hope you learned something. Just go ahead and push that upper part to come up. If you attach it to this, to your shoulder, push that upper part to come up. So that stay is going to make it to stand. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.